So exciting fucking news today. Just wait, just wait. You gotta wait, you gotta wait, you gotta wait for it. It's really good, exciting stuff today. So, um, among other things, I'm gonna be playing some Dawn of War, but first I'm actually gonna be checking out some shit that I never thought I would ever see in my fucking lifetime. Like this is actually like, it's not like super like, super duper like set in stone, you never really know nowadays, but like, all right. So I mean, there's other things I got in the works too, but like, um I just wanted to kind of do this because it's going to be really exciting. But moreover, like, there's also like some other stuff I've been working on with my like Warhammer stuff. Like, finished this Dreadnought, looks pretty decent. Not so bad. I thought it was gonna look like dog shit. I was super surprised. So as far as that goes, like, I don't know, I kind of wanted to put some stuff on YouTube. I'm thinking about doing that, so if you do want to come and check it out, it's right there. You don't need to go through Twitch, because like, Twitch isn't, I mean, Twitch is amazing, don't get me wrong, but like at the same time, like, I don't want to like, make people have to hassle to see some of the shit that happens, because some of the shit that happens on the stream is just like, I can't even deny how funny this shit is. Like, anyway, so without further ado, here comes some pretty big fucking news. Check this shit out. This shit's gonna be fucking nuts. Alright, give me a second to load this bad boy up. Oh, there we go. Let's go, baby. I never thought I would ever see this in my life.
In her greatest trick yet, stealing our most sacred resource.
Dude, we don't need it. Yeah, right. The queen. I told my brother, like, we were both laughing about this. I said this on stream, but it didn't save. Like, it's so funny. Like, why are they going after the queen? Like, what the fuck is this? Like, we killed the dad, we killed the son, we killed the fucking brother-in-law. We like decimated all of their all their nieces and nephews, all of their children. We desecrated their children, and whatever the thrall are, I guess there's like, we've destroyed everything, and this bitch, like, this lady thinks that she could stop us. Like, we've killed like the fucking giant fucking cabal that like basically destroyed us, like wrecked our shit, and we came around, knocked that motherfucker on his own ship made of gold, beat his fucking ass, fucking Nova bomb, just like, dude. And we just took all his loot, like, we just took all the loot, like, over and over and over. And she want, like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, if you saw your whole family members, like you had 9 or 10 family members, and you just saw them get just slaughtered, when, like, and you're like the last one left, and you're like, you saw your husband just get killed, your child get murdered with his own sword, like, wouldn't you be like, hey, what up? You freed me, like, from tyranny. No, I'm gonna fucking attack you humans. Like, good one. Fucking actually a good one. You're gonna get obliterated. The truth? What truth? What truth? What truth? We've killed everything for a millennia. Like, apparently this is like also like the Halo. Apparently someone said that this was like the Halo storyline, but this is like in the past, or in I'm sorry, in the future. So it's like Destiny is like all like true. So it's like, what the fuck, dude? We've been wrecking shit for years. Even when we weren't. Even when we aren't, we're still. Oh, this is a spear. Oh, cool. What is this, fucking Vermintide? Get out of here, dude. Next game. Destiny 6. Alright, here we go. Hold on. It's only 4 more. So we begin. Wow. This is kind of like a reaction. Holy shit. Bro.
Hi, everyone.
What the fuck? What the fuck was that? Dude, you got me. You got me. That was scary as shit. That was scary as fuck. Was that did they put that in there on purpose? That's fucking dirty. That's scummazed. All right, hold on. Let me see. I actually need to fix something because on that note, like, um, shit, that scared the fuck. I don't want to play it again. That was fucked. Um, fuck. I forgot what I was gonna do. Please don't fucking. It's probably gonna do that again. I don't know what the fuck.
Everyone, my name is Philip Ducharme.
What the fuck is that? Is this just a cursed fucking Dead Space? Good one, guys. Good one. The video was playing just fine. What the fuck? What is this? What the fuck? Is this not creepy as shit?
There's a line between.
Okay, Wakari Masen. Um, that's just fucking creepy. It just sounds like white static. I don't understand. This has never happened. That's just uber creepy. Hello? Alright. Maybe it's because I have Dawn of War open? Dawn of War's just pushing all the fucking RAM. Just way too much. Alright, let me see here. I'm uber creeped out because that white noise. That's crazy. Give me a second here. Alright. Okay, it's just gonna be black for a little second. Cause I'm gonna try to like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell is that? I don't know if you guys could hear it, but it was just like a white noise at like maximum volume. I'm going to jail. Bro, that shit was creepy as fuck. It was like perfect. Like right when they were like, it was like, I was like, ah, fuck. Ah, shit. It's just like Dead Space 1. Ah, the crunchy sounds. Alright, well, let's fucking try this shit again, because that was okay. Nice. Okay, yeah, I wanted to fucking watch that video. Alright, here we go. Sorry about all this. Alright, here it is. Hey, it's not fucking glitching out on me.
Savathun, the
Hopefully
witch
we can
queen.
get to this
In
whole
her
fucking
greatest
thing.
trick yet,
Oh,
stealing our
dude.
most sacred resource.
She's
The
dead.
light.
She's already dead. The mistake was made.
My name is Philip Ducharme. I'm senior
we
producer
go.
on Dead Space. With me here today is Roman Campos Oriela, the creative director on
Holy
the project.
shit.
Hello, everyone. T'es prêt,
Oh,
Roman?
they're both
All right,
goats. They're
let's get
both goats.
started. So what we're about to do today is a bit unorthodox for us at EA. We're going to give you, with this live stream, a first
Nervous.
look at some very early, and I'll say very, very early footage.
Very, very, very early.
That's
footage
cool.
from the game. But we wanted to do this because we want to be open with the communication and open about how we're tackling this game. However, I want to be clear. This is not a gameplay reveal. We're not going to be showcasing very long sections of the game or one full chapters. We want to give you all an early look at the game that we're making to be able.
Oh, dude, this is beautiful. I just want to say this real quick though. My fucking magnet came off the thing that holds my fucking vape together, and if I didn't have fucking Warhammer super glue, I'd be fucked right now. Like after I've had like 10 things break of Warhammer, like in like less than 36 hours. And I kind of learned the hard way. You just gotta glue it. Like there's no fucking like you can get upset, you can get mad, but it's like it's just you just gotta glue it. Like it just fucking sucks. Like no one told you that when you start Warhammer, huh? That you fucking that shit will break. That shit will break. Bad things will happen. Shit will fall apart. Shit will straight up just not hold. And it's because, kind of how much glue you put on. But sometimes, you can drop something, it'll just fucking break. It's just, you gotta put it back.
To see reactions across the community about the game that we're making. And there's two reasons why we want to do that.
Safety first.
First, at Motives, one thing that really is important for us is that we want to create a game that excites players. And I think that SAR Squadrons was actually a great example of this. It came from the nostalgia that the team had over the X-Wing versus TIE Fighter franchise, and it carried through in the experience that they created.
Insane.
And it's a little bit what we want to do for Dead Space. We see this project, and we want to make sure that we're honoring the legacy, that we stay true to the source, true to the original. And for us, the best way to do that is to engage with the community early on, to be able to give you first look inside, like behind the curtain.
Boom. First idea. I have a fucking idea already. So there's a mode called Dead Space Severed. A lot of people played it. A lot of people didn't. I didn't really finish it, but I thought it was amazing that they can take someone else's story and progress the whole thing. They need to do that with Dead Space 1. Now consider that I essentially think that they're going to take a full remake standpoint on this and try to remake it and twerk some things that might have been twerk some things that are kind of like Dead Space 2, like the ammunition and maybe it's the sound effects and the guns and things that make more sense, and like the healing and like upgrading and all that stuff, and new weapons and make it more sense in the whole universe, which is kind of cool. But I'm hoping that we can look at other routes for this what is it called? This base, because now you have the Dead Space mechanics in a next gen world. And oh my fucking god. Like if you played Dead Space 2, you know that it was pretty smooth. I'm not going to argue with anyone. Dead Space 2 was very fucking smooth. And Dead Space 1 was a little more, a little more tactical and shit. And I played like on the hardest difficulty where it's like 2 hits and you fucking die, dude. Like it was so terrible. And I beat it, But Dead Space 2 was a lot more easy, kind of more like fluid because you get more like, you can just move and do like stasis, stasis, and if you're good at it, you can fucking, just do really cool shit and survive unthinkable things, and it was good, high risk, high reward, and it was fun. But like I said, like we need to take that and apply it somewhere else because this mechanics that you guys have are fucking gold, and this game is so beautiful, and this universe is so expansive because there's like animes, there's comic books, there's what's the other one, like there's like shows, not they're like shows, but they're like it's like a show where there was a ship where people were like taking over. It's just like this universe is so expansive, and it's much like the Warhammer universe where there isn't really a timeline. There's not really a thing where you can say like this is like, you can say this is when this happened, but it's like you can't really say like like this is when everyone died, like this is how they died, and this is the time that everyone died. Like everyone has different stories. Like it's so complex and rich, so it gives you good opportunities for all this story writing. So I think that's a great start, is like you did with Severed, and I think there might have been another DLC like that, and then the multiplayer was kind of that same way. I'm hoping, I don't care if I don't want to be disrespectful. I appreciate, and I don't mind if you guys want to put a fucking, I'm sorry, not to be rude, but I don't mind if you guys put multiplayer in. I'm not really looking for something like that, but I definitely was very interested when it was in Destiny, or I'm sorry, when it was in the second one. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was really different from all these shooter games, because you could do that one guy who goes like here and like throws his things, like, and I thought it was so cool because you can totally take out like like sure you die in like 2 hits or 1 hit, and sometimes it was just unfair when you have a team of knuckleheads. But it was super fun because it got to a point where it's like, wow, we can actually do this. And it was really cool, playing like all these different aliens and seeing how they play and working with your team. Like if you were the baby, the screaming baby, and you just go with someone else, they're both the screaming baby, just like, and he would be like, like trying to get you guys off, and he's all isolated, and the guy's like, we're running out of time. Like it was so fun. It was such a good experience, and there was like the spitter and stuff, and I just think it was really cool because it was so dynamic. It was not like anything else. Like some people could say, yeah, it was like kind of like a Left 4 Dead model, but the truth is it wasn't. It was a lot of its own type of game, which is really cool. So I think that, yeah, if you guys want to add a multiplayer, that'd be pretty cool. But if you want to focus your time on other things, like I said, like DLC, like Dead Space Severed, or expanding the universe in any way you guys want to, I would totally be down for anything. Like I've been waiting for this, and I thought that they just gave up on this game. So this is a dream come true. I played this all through my childhood, and it got no love, no respect. But I thought this was one of the truly 10 out of 10 games. 10 out of 10. There's nothing. 10 out of 10. So here we are. Sorry, I just had to get that off my chest. Like, if they can expand the universe in any way possible, that's what I feel like is the next step. Because I personally have played the first one, on the easiest difficulty on Zealot, or not. I don't even think it has Zealot. It's probably just insane or something. I don't even know. But I always thought it was Zealot for some reason. So stupid. But yeah, a Zealot would be fucking beautiful. Like all this whole game would be beautiful if it, just had some of these next gen elements. Oh my God, it was so nice to see, and just in different universes, and if you even told a tale of someone who didn't have armor and just had like a pistol. Like you can mix this whole situation up. You can have people have like axes and like weapons, because that's how the anime was portrayed. Like not everybody had a line cutter. Like it wasn't just four guys stacked to the line cutter. No, it was definitely like, if they had Marines, they didn't have fucking helmets on, or they didn't have like the whole Space Marine get up. And I understand it needs to go with the story, but that's why I say if you try an expansion route, like kind of like the Severed. I think Severed was really good. So yeah, and even have it interact with Isaac some way. Have it all make sense. Like I might be asking for too much, but I think you guys already got it. So this is gonna get bigger, and I hope it's gonna be just as beautiful as they did with Dead Space 2.
And see the game that we're making, and be able to think, to see how we're tackling it. And we've actually been doing this since the very beginning of the project. We got in contact during the conception phase with the community council that we've created, some hardcore Dead Space fans that remain active even after years
Wow.
of
Yeah, it's so.
activity for the.
Oh, I don't want to interrupt too much. This is my second interruption, but I feel like, or I wanted to mention that, like, just recently I was playing Dead Space with my girlfriend. Like, I was walking through with her, and I was just like, yeah, man, like, you don't even know this, but I like this game was my like life out of high school for a little bit.
Dead Space franchise. And with this community council, we
Isaac.
established a relationship where we gave them first look at some of the executive presentations that we were making within some of the creative brief, game design documents, first playable footage of the game. And in exchange, we asked them brutal feedback. Like, what are we making? Is it good? Is it what fans
Thank God,
expect
yeah.
out of this remake?
That's cool.
Where does it suck?
Where does it suck? Like,
Yeah.
Most importantly. And for this live stream today, we're actually thrilled to have two of the community council members with us,
Wow.
joining us.
How long is this?
So,
40
we have
minutes?
Jackie
Nice.
Butler and Khalif Adams joining us for this live stream. Hello, Jackie. Hi, Khalif. How are you?
Oh my
Hi,
goodness.
Phil. Hi, Roman. We're doing great. Very excited to be here.
I mean, I don't want to, we're not doing some PR bullshit. We don't need to introduce ourselves. I just want to say this real quick. He mentioned executions, okay? So, like, I think that's like when you're tapping E, and it's like, they're on me, and then, you get to, like, finish them, or whatever the fuck it is. I feel like, they have a lot to learn from everyone else doing all this crazy shit, which is awesome. Not to mention, they've already been doing, like, great executions, but, like, you know, it's so cool because like now they get to revisit this whole realm. And there's games I play like For Honor where it just has some really stomach turning fucking executions, and that's what I would like to see. Oh, I think actually I'm wrong. He's talking about the executions that happen to Isaac when you die. Never mind.
Excited to see you
Great.
both. Seeing that you're all hanging out in Montreal, looking good. I see they got you all made up, looking
Montreal.
cute. I love it. I appreciate it. I'm Khalif Adams, one of the hosts, or the host of the Spawn on Me podcast. I'm super excited to be here. I'm a huge Dead Space fan. I've been waiting for this for a very long time, and I get to rock with one of my favorite content creators on the planet, Jackie. Let the folks at home know a little bit more about you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jackie Butler. I'm a cardiac nurse extern, soon to be RN, as well as a streamer and content creator here on Twitch. Let me tell you, Khalif, Roman,
Dude.
Phil, there's very
Do you see
few
her?
games.
Do you see her fucking? Oh, dude, look at that. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Khalif, Roman, Phil, there's very few games
Yeah, I got
that I
you.
wish I could experience for the first time again. One of those is obviously Dead Space.
Yeah.
So I'm literally over the moon to be here. No pun intended, you know what I'm saying? So let's get straight into it and talk about the Dead Space remake.
All right, let's get started.
So we're gonna dive right in with the classic dark and claustrophobic
Whoa.
headbanger hallway. Shown here on the screen is what Dead Space looked like in 2008.
See,
Although
that's still,
revolutionary.
dude. This, I didn't even know. I didn't even know. I thought this was next gen.
For its time.
It's
Let's see
still
the design
beautiful.
process and how it looks now. Roman and Phil, can you show us more?
Can we see this?
Yeah, so actually,
Wow.
one of the
I
first things that we
I
did
just want to
was,
see him move
we
because it
went
looks so
back
good
to the
even
legacy
in
assets for the game.
the old days.
So we want to recreate with the proxies the full ship, the Ishimura.
I'll back it up, but it also reminds me like I was saying earlier, where they can bring some elements from things like Dead Space 2 into this game, because like you see how his back was kind of like you know, a solid color. It becomes like this like glowing thing and does, I mean, the second one, same with the stasis. And then at the same time, there's a lot more like smooth edging, and it wasn't something like, it was something like noticeably different like from Halo 1 to Halo 2. It was that big, but at the same time it didn't really change the fucking game. It was still beautiful in its own way. Like they're both beautiful in their own way. So, you know, like you can play Halo 1 and appreciate its graphics. You know, you don't need the anniversary bullshit. You can appreciate it with its normal graphics. And then the same way with you know, Halo 2, like it's a completely different game, but it's literally like the second version. You know, you can tell that the you know, the technology of the time definitely changed, and that's all that really happened, but it's kind of the same game. And that's what I mean. They're probably talking about the assets and whatnot.
And how it looks now. Roman and Phil, can you show us more?
Yeah, so actually, one of the first things that we did was we went back to the legacy assets for the game. So we wanted to recreate with the proxies the full ship, the Ishimura, to recreate it. And then our team went in and started an added level of details to the environment so that we could have a higher fidelity and start seeing what can the game look like on next generation of consoles.
Yeah, wow, I
So
see
we
some
went
kind
in,
of like
added
shading,
details,
like
then
lighting.
started working on the shaders and the materials to try to have
Wow,
that
there's some more
metallic
shading.
look
Wow.
that we were after.
You know, oh my god, now that just makes me feel so weird. Like first it was kind of dull, you know, it's kind of just, oh, you're playing a video game, but now it's just like you're like in a fucking like like what is it called? Like like you're in space and all the power is off. You're stuck in a fucking metal box, and like there's the oxygen is off, like everything is fucking off, like everyone is dead. You hear screaming. Like that actually really just fucking sunk with me. Like, oh my god, that's so fucking shitty. Like you're just lost in space in a fucking what is it called, tinfoil box with like blood everywhere, like blood and death, like, and you
just
have
like
no
to get
idea
the
what's
right
going on.
materials out in the environment. From there, we did like a first pass at lighting to try to get the mood right, because the atmosphere of Dead Space is
Kind of getting some Halo Reach vibes. That's kind of weird. I don't know. That's let's see.
pretty much on lighting, and then on VFX to try to get like that full picture of what are we after? What are we
Oh,
trying to achieve
yeah,
with
that's
the
pretty
game?
cool.
And it looks great on a few stills, but it actually looks way better in game.
We'll
So
see.
So what type of engine
I
did
like
you
it.
guys use to create this? And what graphics are
we're
you
using.
aiming for?
So great question, Jackie. We're using Frostbite as our dev engine,
Frostbite, that's cool.
and we're going for obviously IN graphics, IN fidelity, and our focus is on lighting, VFX, and just overall audio experience to make sure that we would deliver the right atmosphere, something that was key in the original game.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
so I know we have a real live functional build currently. Can you bring that up? And this again is a work in progress.
So yes, that's super
Wow.
early. Like it's end of pre-production.
I did have this problem with Dead Space, and I'm hoping that this can fix it for me. Was like, it was not that it wasn't scary. It was that from all the games I play, I guess, I guess this just happens in our society is like people who play a lot of games, they tend to move through things kind of a little bit fast. And so I feel like I just moved through this game kind of a little bit fast. I don't appreciate things like this. But like this is really cool. I think this is really cool. So we'll see. Like I said, like I'm really hoping that they can slow it down for me because that was a big problem. Was like I would move through this game too fast and not get to appreciate things. And then I even got to see that when I was playing with my girlfriend, like because I love watching my girlfriend play. I want to get her on stream one time because she's so funny. She is so funny. She will just like I watched her play Skyrim, and it's just so funny because she's just wow. And she's like, it was so funny. She was wearing a Stormcloak outfit, and while fighting a Stormcloak. And then there was an Imperial next to her, and she's like, and they all just like stopped hitting her and like stopped combat. So she was super confused. And I just died of laughter because they're just like it was so funny. Oh, she kills me. But when I go through it, I'm just like fucking healing, fireball, fireball, fucking paralyze. Conjure demon, conjure Dremora, fucking Dremora lord. Fucking bound bow. Just for fun. Summon a dragon. Ow, whatever the fuck it is. Turn it into a werewolf, then turn it into a vampire. Like it's not even fun when I played Skyrim. But like this, it was the same way with this game too. I kind of ran through it I actually ended up leveling up my plasma cutter and just like being like, ooh, piece can. Ooh, piece can. You can if you don't know, you can bring telekinesis. Like you can pick things up and bring them closer to you. That's pretty cool.
Build. We are just starting production, so it's really.
Is that not a thing in the first one? No, it is. It is. Telekinesis is a thing
really,
in the
really
universe.
far
I'm stupid.
from being done. But one thing we really wanted, and you touched about it, it's really wanted to make sure that we nailed the ambience, and not only the look, the lightings, the VFX, the fog, but also nail that ambience. Give you the feeling that you're in the Ishimura, you're inside those dark
Yeah.
corridors. And
Oh, wow.
not only it's in engine, it's actually in game. And here's my boy Isaac. So that rig, that armor, it's not the original, it's a new one.
I think yeah, that's the new one. That looks definitely fresh. I can see what's going on with the lighting too. I think that was a really big thing I liked about the second one was the lighting. Like you'd walk through an area and it would just have like this like amazing lighting going on. You just felt like you were in the future on the spire. And I think I'm gonna say this once. I don't know who said it. I think it was the original guy who made original guy who fucking made Dead Space. He said that sound was the biggest thing, and I agree. I think that's what's gonna be ultimately what sells it for this is sound because like it's kind of like giving me shivers, like making my like back kind of like shiver just a little bit, just because thinking about like him being there is so stressful, but then like you hear all these fucking noises all the time. Like that was a big thing for me is like you would hear enemies like in the fucking spawn and they would never come out. So they're literally fucking with you. It's like, dude, I know you're in there, you know, but it's like creepy because like and you know, like I said, the screaming was really bad. Like you would hear like screaming and like death and stuff, but you never see anybody in this game. You only hear screaming, and you know, no spoilers, by the way.
It's still work in progress. It's gonna be improved a lot, but it
How old
gives
is this
the
game? Like
first
9, 11
taste
years? 9?
at Isaac Clarke in the remake.
Wow, that's gonna look
Look,
good.
here we are.
Wow.
I mean, the
Wow.
lighting, everything looks phenomenal.
Yeah, that looks good.
The smoke,
It looks
This
so
is-
good.
very much what we should be expecting at this point from
Yikes.
next generation graphics.
It's really Dead Space,
Yeah.
but like you never saw it, I think.
Wow. And it kind of looks like what I was talking. I mean, you know, like let's back up a little bit. So, if you're watching this, I'm sure you know, but Dead Space, like I said, Dead Space 1 from Dead Space 2, it was like a big graphics jump, big technological jump. You can see it, you know, it's on the brand basically. And then when you go from Dead Space 2 to Dead Space 3, there's not really anything different. Like the only thing that changed was, you know, maybe some mechanical things, but I mostly mechanical things. It was basically Destiny 2 expansion, you know? So when it comes to give me a second. So when it comes to Destiny, or sorry, when Dead Space fucking shit, Dead Space 2 to this one, I feel like that's the best comparison because that's the biggest technological jump. So from Dead Space 2 to this game, it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of that technological jump. So I think that is exactly what this game needed, was kind of that up the ante. And that way they can do more colorful shit, more explosive shit, because I feel like that was a big problem too, was the colors and the being able to keep that resource. So yeah, give me a second there. Bunch of stupid shit, but I did make this beautiful, 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 beautiful pumpkin. It was a bitch to make, but my girlfriend called me. I just wanted to talk to her. She's awesome. All right, where are we at, boys?
So it has been almost 13 years, you know, since the original game
13.
came out, original Dead Space. Why is this remake happening now, and what exactly is this remake? Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah.
So
Whoa.
one thing that's important for us, and that's why it's for PS5, Xbox Series, or for PC, is that it's not about one thing. Like Dead Space is a super strong experience, and so it's really about improving on a lot of different elements to create that original but still new experience. Whether
You know, I mean, I'll let him finish.
it's the new lighting and ray tracing, whether, like Phil mentioned, it's about audio, whether it's improvements to gameplay and having new zero-G, or as you're going to see maybe later, improvements on dismemberment and how you actually deal damage to the enemies, whether it's about having an unbroken and continuous experience. It's about doing a lot of improvements and how we enrich that experience. And so that's really what that remake is about.
Wow. So he actually said what I was gonna say. I actually feel like they don't. I would have said like we don't need to fucking do anything. What have you played it? Hey, we don't need to do anything. Like be honest, Dead Space doesn't need to do anything, because the people who haven't played this game, they don't fucking know. But the people who have played this game, 10 out of 10. Find me someone who doesn't like Dead Space, who's played the entire game and the second one through and been like, 5 out of 10. Even if you played the third one, you know, it's still like 6 out of 10. Like, it's still 6 out of fucking 10. Dead Space, or fucking Cyberpunk. They, you know, the one game they're trying to release couldn't do that. You know, so, like, they don't really need to do any of this. This is kind of just fan service. Like, it's like, well, we have all this technology. Let's just make another one. You know, so But at the same time, he is like, yeah, I'm not saying he's right or wrong. I'm trying to say like he brings up a good point. Like there's some things they could have changed, like in the audio for the first one, it was really strange. Like as someone who's studying audio, it's kind of strange that it comes out so weird. Like even in games of like Dawn of War, when I'm playing it, it has like really kind of grainy like audio, and it's almost like phasing, and it's like, how did this happen? This was approved. Like it has like weird phasing, and it's all like high end, and it's like this is just strange. And so I guess they could have tweaked that, which is nice. And then, like having some more colors, dismemberment explosions, like all he was talking about. But I genuinely feel like they don't need to remaster this game. In fact, it's fucking fan service at that point. Like Modern Warfare 2, like, like if you didn't, it's just kind of like to bring it back into the market, which is interesting. But like the first one was the first one, so but I guess that's how a lot of people feel with like original Mario games and shit. They're like, "Ah, it's not the original, it's all 3D and shit." But yeah, I also wanted to mention that like this game is so beautiful and expanse, and so in a way, like they didn't get to do a fourth installment, which they clearly were hinting at. If you played the third one, they're I don't want to spoil it, but they're clearly implying that there's more to these tales, and I understood that they didn't have enough money or something, and that some things are better in a trilogy, all this bullshit. But so I feel like that's what really slowed them down, that no one that I haven't really mentioned. But because the momentum for the story, for the universe, the momentum never stopped, and never went like after a while, but like it was still good. Like it was still really good. There was still really good content being produced out of this universe. And so I feel like when it came to the gaming thing, like they didn't really want to fuck up, A, and B, like I don't think the money was there to do something big and expansive. And it wasn't good timing, think about the technology. Like I said, when you take Dead Space 2, Dead Space 3, like there is no difference, like really, when it comes to the graphics. Like you can say that, but I mean, from someone who's played them both, like I feel like they're both beautiful. Like they're both are just look great. Like they both just, it's like this one looks beautiful. Oh wow, that one looks beautiful. Oh wow, that one looks like it doesn't. It's not like they're all beautiful, So um yeah, I like he was saying, like it was some necessary changes, but I honestly, they don't need to do it. They should have just resold it or some shit. Hey, $60, Dead Space, Dead Space 1, motherfucker. The original. People are like, or they're like, fuck off, like that's how it should go down. If you didn't play the first one, like that, this is nothing about this is where we differ from the modern day gaming. Like this is why I like Dead Space and this type of games. It's because they don't really have, I don't really, I know everybody wants to get money, the goal is to get money, but at the same time, when it comes to a game like this, there's not something you could really whip up really quickly and sell it to people. Like they tried that with the third one. In fact, like even the second one, like I was talking about with the multiplayer was kind of like, it was a little shaky sometimes. Like I'll be straight up honest, it was a little janky and sometimes completely overpowering. Like if you were it depends on who you were. Sometimes you just stasis everybody, stasis. Oh, you got a stasis. Like it was so cheap. Like and if imagine being the fucking people, you're just like. Like every fucking time, isn't this every time you get stasis, you die, stasis, you die. Like it was just too corny, it's just too corny. It was like the good old Superman versus, name your villain. It was just so bad. It was okay. But like I said, sometimes you'd have good times. You'd have genuinely good times with balanced matches and whatnots. So I'm kind of hoping that, like I said, like
Yeah, because
yeah.
we have been looking at Reddit, we've been looking online, and there has been some people in the community noting that the game already stood the test of time.
What the fuck did I just say? The game art, like if there was like a top 10 game, like like a top 100 games that an alien should play to understand the gaming universe, like Dead Space has to at least be on there, because it's like this is a whole, like, sure, you could say it's kind of like Resident. It is Resident Evil. No, I'm just kidding. It's kind of like Resident Evil, but in the same way, it's not, because it's like a whole different tale as far as I've come across. I haven't seen anything where they got this inspiration. You know, like this is, I don't even think this is some Warhammer shit, because I know a lot of people, a lot of companies get some Warhammer shit, but this is like, it's been like one of the my favorite genuine ideas for a game, because there's nothing really like it. Like Resident Evil doesn't do what this game can do. Like Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but that, you know, Dead Space 1, and you know, it's all, you know, it ain't the fucking last boss. I won't spoil
This is
it.
still considered to be quote unquote a perfect game.
10 out of 10. Masterpiece. Fucking perfecto.
Exactly. And so,
That's it.
like,
It's a
like
10
the
out of 10
show,
game.
like I mentioned,
Like I said,
what-
this is a fan service. They're just like, well, we have the new technology.
what's really important for us is to capture that original ambience, that original experience,
Yeah.
but like you've never experienced before. And that's really the age we're after, I believe.
I'm hoping that like, you know, like, what's a good example? I don't know, because I haven't really seen a lot of good remasters. Like I've seen a remaster of Anniversary. I guess that's the best one. Like Anniversary was different in its own game, you know, and I'm hoping that that doesn't happen. But in the same way, I'm hoping that they can stick to their roots and continue to to twist and turn your mind, because that was what really got me, was the psychological shit. Like just trying to wrap your head around what's going around you, putting yourself in Isaac's shoes, you know, like I think that was and then you know, the whole conflict, like I don't want to spoil too much, but the whole conflict that he has with someone he has, you know, someone he's, you know, pursuing, and his whole life is like dependent on his survival. Like he's literally the last person, you know, it probably says somewhere how many people are left on the ship. It's probably like less than 100, and the ship made for millions or something, or you know, thousands, whatever the fuck it is. And you know, it's just insane, because it's like the reality of this is so scary. It's so scary. And then even if I don't want to be a nerd, but I will, if you know some of the lore about like some of the dig sites where some of the shit started happening, it's fucking crazy. Like the shit goes on and on and on. It's fucking terrible. But it's
Yeah,
beautiful.
and I mentioned it earlier. Like we want to make sure that we're honoring the legacy. That's one of our production pillars that we have for the game. But at the same time, we want to make it relevant for today. Like the games have evolved a lot since the original Dead Space came out. From
Yeah.
obviously graphics, which is like the easiest
Yeah.
way to see how it changed. But also as far as systems.
Not easiest necessarily to make.
Well, no, not easiest to make. No, that's for sure. But as far as systems, as far as just opportunities for gameplay and how to leverage
That's
it,
what I'm saying.
That's something that.
Like here's a good example. Like he said, opportunities for gameplay, and this is what I mean, twist and turn with the player's mind. In Dead Space, you turn a corner. Dead Space 1 original, you turn a corner. You know, you see a room full of enemies. You start shooting. You know, you get overwhelmed. You just start shooting. You kill them all. You move on. You know, you heal up. You move on. There's more enemies upstairs. Blah blah blah. How about you turn the corner, and like your flashlight, you know, and there's like someone getting ripped to fucking pieces, you know, and instead of like the blood was kind of like washed out, and this time they could do it totally different and make it like really fucking gory, really fucking violent. And you know, a lot of people have heard of a game called Vermintide, but it was very violent when it originally came out. Like I'm talking about like organs and like intestines and all this shit. Like, you know, they make it really just fucked up and really just cool. Like little things like that, like turning a corner, seeing an enemy, like we saw, they turn a corner, you see some person like banging their head against the wall. They're just fucking like you know, not, they're necromorphed out. And like you know, like maybe have some more human interaction, like some people actually fighting for their life. I thought that was kind of weird that you never see any human at all ever, or you know, like it was just kind of strange. And then the one person who you interact, like the few handful of people you interact with are like, you know, are like on you know, they're unarmed, no armor, they don't look anything like you, but somehow they have a higher survival rate than you do, which doesn't calculate to me. You know, so some of this shit doesn't calculate, doesn't come through. So I'm hoping that they can kind of make it a little more realistic with like But I actually never mind because the fall of the Ishimura was probably pretty fast. Probably took like an hour or something for everyone to die. So never mind on that. Less humans. Um, maybe that was I was thinking. Maybe I'm thinking about Dead Space 2 because Dead Space 2, you're on the spire. You should have more human interactions, but it's like every human you meet is either dying or dead. Like I wish there was like a humans like shooting back, like and not just a little cutscene and then the door closes and then you move on. I'm talking about like, like whatever the fuck, like I don't know, dude. It's pretty interesting. I don't know, maybe not, maybe so. I don't know, but yeah.
We think that given the evolution that Dead Space had within its own franchise with Dead Space 2 and Dead Space 3, but also how the franchise, how just the game industry evolved outside Dead Space, there's opportunities for us to make a better, a more complete experience, let's say.
Yeah, I'm just
Right,
blown away
right,
at
right.
how good everything looked from just even that small glimpse into the engine.
Thank you.
It feels like, I know you're saying it's really, really early. It's really, really early, but it's just,
Yeah.
this is really, my goodness, what is it going to look like when you wind up getting kind of further down the line? So that's
True.
really fantastic.
True.
We might keep some surprise for later.
Nice.
So, can you please now show the stat comparison of the original 2008 game versus the
Wow.
current project?
Wow, look at that, night and day, dude.
Yeah, that's a massive difference. You remember your favorite game in a certain way, and you
And I kind of want to say he kind of looks like a knight, which is kind of cool. But I also wanted to mention that this will give them an opportunity to do more things with the skins, or not the skins, like what are they called? Like the I don't even know what they're like, the engineer suits or whatever the fuck it is, soldier suits, zealot suits. I don't even know what they're called. But the suits, you can change them up. You can change up the fucking thing when he puts them on and shit. You can change up a lot of shit, which would be really cool to see. But you can make things more colorful. You can actually like, and I don't mean like, oh, just off the bat, like here's a fucking cool ass thing. Maybe if you pre-order bonus, like maybe if you fucking beat the game on the hardest mode, like come on, like I think that'd be really cool, having some things that are really illustrious and not as you know as like not the assets just ported, not the same stuff, which is kind of to be expected. And even if they want to run a marketplace, $3 for this suit, $5 for the $20 for the Christmas suit, Dead Space Christmas suit, like I'm down, I'm cool with it. That's fine. I doesn't mean I'll pay for it, but it'd be pretty cool. So,
you think that it looks great.
but
but
I
then
haven't
you
even
see
looked into the
improvement.
multiplayer, so I don't know if there's gonna be
It's
multiplayer.
wow, big difference, big difference.
Huge.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see just how far we've come in terms of technology, right? Like it was only 13 years ago, but it seems like
I wish
we've
they'd show
gone
Dead
leaps,
Space
leaps
2.
and bounds where we're able to kind of take all the kind of small details.
But here's where I see some issues is like going forward, are they gonna remaster Dead Space 2? And if they remaster Dead Space 2, they're gonna come across the same problem that I feel like they had with Dead Space 1 to 2, where the graphics jump is not gonna be as huge, and so they're gonna kind of see some numbers dwindle down, if you know what I mean. But personally, I'm gonna buy both. Like I'll fucking pay for the second one remastered. Hell yeah, especially if it's you know even better than this, because I know that they're kind of holding back. Um, but the truth about games, like I've seen this. I've never believed that this happens, but games that we play like in alpha or like when they originally come out usually don't stay the same like 6 months down the road. Like we're now at an age where games evolve, and I fucking hate it. I hate it so much because there's like Overwatch, there's like Vermintide, like I was mentioning, there's like Call of Duty where like things that are put in the game and designed a certain way, they fucking take them, flip them around, throw them up inside down, take this one, put a fucking monkey wrench in that one, and some gum and some fucking pocket lint, like, and they're just like, here you go. And it's just so stupid, like it's so fucking dumb. Like they're like, well, we made it easier for other players, even though we totally fucked up your shit. It's like, like For Honor's a great example. For Honor, it's not even the same game. If you like when For Honor came out the first time, dude, I was a god. I became a god really fast because I realized that like there's just a lot of shit you can do that people aren't expecting, but then everybody else kind of like evolved, and then the game shaped changed because of new heroes, so people had to play differently. And then they added more heroes to beat those heroes, and those heroes were easier to use. And then they added more heroes who were easy to use and better than all of them. And so everybody in the first year, it's called first year, all these first year heroes basically were obsolete. So they had to upgrade them and change all their move sets. Well, that guy's made them stronger than all the other first heroes and everybody below them. So they had to take those guys and upgrade. Yeah, fuck that game. Yeah, that's fucking stupid. It's not. What is that? The game you paid for has now evolved and twisted into this fucking monster of a fucking weird thing that you don't even know how to fucking approach because everything you know has been thrown to the garbage. So, I mean, I understand games evolve, but Dead Space is a game where it has its mechanics sit in front of you. You play it, everything is very straightforward. So I'm hoping that it's not something that constantly changes, but I'm guessing that we're going to see some graphics changing and some things changing with the gameplay over time. So that's going to be
Just
pretty
seeing
interesting,
the
hopefully.
newer model of Isaac is really
And I do mention that in a way of it takes away from immersion. Sometimes that can happen, like where they have the right recipe and then they like if you go to the For Honor gameplay trailer, the alpha gameplay trailer, like believe it or not, like that's what was their idea, but they couldn't deliver it. You know, it wasn't marketable enough or some bullshit. I don't know, there's some internal bullshit. But the problem is that game would have been beautiful. It turned into something completely fucking different and turned into a goddamn, like, this game originally was a war fighting game. It was like a mix. It was mostly a war game, but mostly but kind of a fighting game. Now it's 90% fucking 3D fighting game. It's fucking Dragon Ball Z. It's literally Dragon Ball Z with swords. It sucks. It fucking sucks. I hate it. And even when you do well in it, it's low. It's high risk, low reward every time. So the game is just So I don't know what I'm talking about. For Honor.
What are your current goals for the remake exactly? How are you going to honor the legacy of Dead Space? Because that is huge shoes to fill.
Wow.
Bars set high.
Damn. She said what?
It is definitely, and like the team is actually extremely passionate. We're referencing a lot to the original game, having a lot of looks at it, and like I said, by making it relevant, we're looking at different games and what they did, and see how can we bring it back inside
Some
Dead
concept
Space.
art.
So, like one of the example is something that we're trying to do is to have an unbroken experience, to make the game fully seamless. And how can that create an experience where the player's even more immersed within the game?
He mentioned seamless. I don't know if this is exactly what he's talking about, but there was some times where it's like, shooting, 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 slam, get this thing. Okay, cool. Going here, everything's really smooth. Walk into this room, helmet comes off. Isaac, like it just didn't make any fucking sense. It was really kind of strange how it was just like the whole game mechanic would kind of change during a cutscene. Like it was just like, I'm Isaac Clarke. Like it was like, all right, dude, I've literally been killing things for the last 3 hours. I haven't had food. I've been shitting in a goddamn spacesuit. I've been attacked and stabbed. I've had my head cut off in a couple other lives. and you're breaking up with me? Like, come on, dude.
Than was previously the case.
And it's really one of the big objectives that we have for that game is that from even before the start screen till the end of the game, the rolling credits, to never have any break of experience, to have that full and uninterrupted sequence shot. And so that, of course,
Oh, don't say the credits. That
on,
means it's gonna
what we're
end.
building. And just starting with how the Ishimura and the structure of the game is built, because we don't want any cut. So there should be no loading. How do the full shift?
Oh, there was some loading. I remember that. There were some times. I mean, it didn't really bother me, but there were some times where you open, like usually it'll say open. You press the open button and the door would go cheek, and it would fucking open, But there were some times where you press open and it would go loading. And or sometimes it'd be like loading, and then the whole fucking game would get really framed. The frames would drop, and then it would open, and it was kind of strange. But I mean that never bothered me. Like the map loading. But like I said, the cutscenes have got to be fixed. I will show you right now. Fucking. Oh, hold on, I got you.
You think about calling for a ride?
No. Let's just see a Dead Space 1 cutscene. Like, they're so weird. Like, you walk into a room, and it like, okay. Like, and sometimes that was kind of cool. Where are they at? He said there's cutscenes. Game, movie. This is not a game movie. Where are the cutscenes? Well, I don't want to spoil it. Where are the cutscenes? Huh? Yeah. See, this is really good. I love the intro. But you see how it's kind of clanky janky. You see how you're kind of getting some like clanky janky vibes. Oh no! Spoiled.
14 trillion kilotons and counting.
Down everywhere.
Force on the colony.
Isaac,
Hear that high?
go over and hack the door pad.
Hear that high?
And we
That like
hope your
quickly.
stay is a pleasant one.
That's not the audio of the video. That's the actual game. Because it has that effect. It's kind of like some weird phasing. And he probably has some mixing on this, because this is, you know, this is not what it originally sounds like. It actually sounds really high-end and crisp. And it's like got like no end, low end. It's kind of weird. Really a lot of mids.
Seems like casts.
No,
Isaac, log in.
all this stuff is good. I guess it's the scenes later, you know? It's the scenes later. Like I'm not gonna show you because I guess I can't find them. But there's some scenes later that are definitely like really like just jarring, like just throw you into it, and it's like, oh, now you're a social person. You know, you've only been fucking
There's a lot of elements
fighting for your
that
life.
start to unfold when you start to think the game through that lens of really the unbroken immersion.
And like really from the get-go, like we gave ourselves an objective. Like if possible, could we have players wanting to take the controller and play for 12 hours straight, never putting them down, not even going to the bathroom, just because they were so immersed within the game.
True.
And that's what we're after. That's like the type of immersion that we want to
True.
be able to achieve.
That's going to be a back of the box quote.
Whoops.
You can't go to the bathroom on the back of the box. I appreciate it. But I also heard you talk about, you know, how you want to double down on, or at least really focus in on what makes Dead Space fantastic around the horror aspect of the game too. I'd love to hear more about that.
So of course, horror it's one of the main pillar of Dead Space.
What makes this shit tick.
And it's about a lot of elements in Dead Space. So of course, the story it's about that. It's that iconic survival horror story. You're alone, trapped on that hulking spaceship. But the main element for us was to get the ambience right, and so that's why we started with elements like, for example, the Headbanger Corridor or the workshop that you can see in the teaser, is to make sure that we capture the ambience. It's about more than just the gore or the monsters or the story or the character. It's really about the Ishimura and how isolated and stressed you feel when you're inside that ship. And so that's really an important pillar for us. And so that's why we want you to
Like here, where were we at? 1432. Like I was saying, this is like really good. This is a good place to start. Like this is really cool. It kind of reminds me. That's just so weird. I like that. That's really cool. I wish they could bake something to that, but that's not going to be really a thing. But that's kind of like a good place to start, because that's exactly what kind of vibes I get here. Is like not only are it's like it's artificial. Like this, none of this is real. Like there's no nature anywhere. This is 100% artificial. So like you're fucking stuck on this motherfucker.
With elements like, for example, the Headbanger corridor or the workshop that you can see.
Right.
And that's actually something that we challenged the team early on. Like, how can we make sure that we don't break that recipe, that we don't break the right amount of nothing happening that's going to actually increase the level of tension when you're playing. And so far, the team's been taking that challenge and doing an amazing job at it. And it's always something that's at the back of our head in every review that we're doing, and they're delivering amazing work on it.
It's one of the things, it's how can we keep players constantly on their toes, and we might have some surprise coming on that, and on how much you can be surprised even when you're doing something you're already
Fucking fire you, dude. No, I'm just kidding.
So what would this stream be without necromorphs? Isn't that what we are really here for?
Don't say that. You're spoiling it. No,
When
I'm
we
kidding.
say cut off their limbs, we want you to experience every gory detail of dismembering iconic necromorphs. Now we will showcase our dismemberment gym. The dev team has created a peeling system that will be implemented into combat. Would you mind telling us more about the original system versus the new system and what peeling actually means?
I think actually something that's very important, as you can see with the feed, like it is definitely a gym, and it's intentional that we showcase this in a gym because we're so early with it. Visually, we're not at the right level of quality where we want to achieve, but we want to showcase functionality here. That's what we want to talk about, and what is the system that we have in mind.
Okay, so consider, like, some people, I just want to explain this. Consider that what he's saying is that graphically is not where they want to be, but this is about mechanics. They're just showing off the mechanics and how it looks. So I kind of noticed that blood was kind of just, but it's okay. Like you said, it's
for peeling, like you said.
Because I think
you
see some really cool blood in
early
this.
Build. It's a gym. Everything that you see is work in progress. It's first implementation. A lot of VFX are missing. A lot of those modelizations are not final and missing a lot of things like
That's fine. Work on it, man.
But one thing that is important for us that I just showed, it's first, of course, dismemberment is back. And it's back with all the depth and fun you can have in that space. But one thing we wanted to, and those are the only things, those are the things you can say only on Dead Space. One of the thing we wanted to improve.
Wow, look at its head. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool because I understand this.
Experience. It's when you're using a weapon that is not a carving weapon, like something, not like the plasma cutter. Plasma cutter is really fun to use. You can just shoot at anything, and really you have that instant feedback of the limb getting cut, etc.
Oh, look at that! They were able to do just the claw thing. That's awesome. I remember it being like just the whole arm every time or something.
When you had a different weapon, knowing how much damage you were dealing to the enemy, how was he reacting, etc., it was not necessarily as visceral and as clear.
Yeah, when you use the pulse rifle, it was just like they would literally just go. Like they would fucking I gotta see this. I gotta show you guys. I'm not joking. I'm literally not joking. I wish I was joking. Let me see. Let me see this. Like it was hilarious. It kills me. Like they were like, watch. Go full auto, dude. Yeah, until it starts doing dismemberment. Is this an ad? Good one. This Chris probably backs out though. Yeah, there it is. Like, dude, what is that? Can we get a slow-mo of this bitch? What is that? Let's go like 0.25. We gotta. Until it falls apart. That's awesome. Yeah, yeah. I noticed that too. That's cool. They even brought that up. But that's true. I guess I feel like that. No, 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 no. What did you? What is that? Dead Space. This isn't Dead Space. Oh, it's an ad. Well, it's getting muted. Have fun being muted, ad. Yikers.
Sham, I'm senior producer on Dead Space.
10-4?
With me here today is Roman Campos. Okay. I think actually something that's very important, as you can see with the feed, like it is definitely a
remove, so at the moment, the flesh out of the bones of the enemy, and to give you a good sense not only of gore and horror and ambience, but also of how much damage am I doing to that opponent.
Is it trying to do holes?
Give you a good out of the bones of the enemy, and
oh, that's awesome.
To really remove, so at the moment, the flesh out of the bones of the enemy, and to give you a good sense not only of
is there a hole in him? Damn.
Horror and ambience, but also of how much damage am I dealing to that
opponent. Oh, there's like the skeleton.
Is my weapon actually useful against this one? How close is he to die? And that's something for me that is really interesting. And so when we were speaking about why doing a remake and where can we improve, those are an example of what we can do, is that we don't have anymore to choose which feature we actually want to push.
And I want to also have the kind of the conversation of like the bones, like being able to move even though the flesh has been torn from it. I mean, that partially makes sense because these guys aren't human anymore. This is some wizard magic shit. So I definitely feel like it can work, you know, because they're not humans anymore.
We can have dismemberment. We can have much more precision and body destruction. We can have seamless loading for the whole ship, etc., etc. And that's something really, really interesting for us.
Wow.
And another thing that is actually really interesting with that system. So again, for the moment, it's really early. For the moment,
really
only showcasing it on the naked slasher, so you only see it with the flesh, but. Of course, later it's going to support like the claw, body armor, different layers, weak points, etc. But it also improves one of the core of shooting in Dead Space, which is around the precision, and not only the precision of my weapon, but as an example, the precision of the plasma cutter. And so, if I was to shoot, let's say, on that leg, then if I'm shooting here, I'm not going to cut the leg. Because I'm not shooting at the place where the bone is actually visible. If I want to cut that leg now, I need to be much more careful and precise in my aiming and in the shooting. And then, for us, what is interesting is that it opens a whole new layer of shooting and combat loop where you can have some weapons that are better at carving through the enemies, some weapons that are better at cleaning them. Sorry for the mic. Some weapons that are better at cleaning the enemy and removing the flesh and the tissue, etc.
Oh wow!
And that's something really really interesting for us.
Anytime Roman speaks about dismemberment, he gets overly passionate and expressive.
Nice.
About it. Even with the team internally. He shows a lot of passion in that topic, so
yeah.
He knows
I
what
can
he's
just imagine
talking
you
about.
being on the phone and talking to somebody who's like, "Yeah, we need to get more body dismemberment."
Stop fucking roasting him, dude. What do you got? You look at that face. I have the exact same. What are you guys talking about? Don't roast him, dude. That's what we need. I mean, it is a little graphic, but I mean that's the whole point. Is like this is a human story. This is a human tale. Our lives are not fucking butterflies and rainbows and sunshine and oh no, like it's literally like let's talk about this, you know, like what if in the future, you know, we fucking made a mining ship and bad shit happened, you know, what if we found something we weren't supposed to find? Like that's just a whole fucking new like universe, and I just think it's awesome. And especially when it comes to like the blood and gore aspect, dude, kill these fucking necromorphs. These motherfuckers are like I know they were once human, but like this is now something terrible. They're trying to take over, dude. Like, and Isaac's got to survive.
Dismemberment and more destruction on the body, and people are just like, "What in the heck is he talking about?"
I love it.
But it looks great.
Sometimes,
Yeah, it looks
sometimes
amazing.
I just can't wait to see the visual effects. Like you saw in the clip I just showed, like there was like some yellow bits, some of the fat, and like some of the whatever the infected, you know.
weird moments like that in the team where you do a meeting about dismemberment and blood and gore and dead bodies, and you misspell somebody's name and you're inviting somebody else to that meeting that is not part of the team, and they go like,
Oh no.
That's funny.
Strap in.
There's some nudity in Dead Space. Like there's some women who just like have boobs out, and they're like, you know, they're totally just necromorphed out, and it's just like it kind of weird, champ. But at the same time, it's understandable because it's like, you know, like I said, it's a human experience. Like none of these humans are, you know, human anymore. So
So Roman, on what level can we expect the detail of filleting necromorphs, essentially?
and it does, and like I said, with the nudity of the females, it does kind of show that like this virus, this thing, I'm just gonna leave it out there because I don't want to spoil anything, but whatever is causing this is the Riker. I don't know what it is. I actually don't know what it is. Anyway, like whatever's causing this thing, like it's unrelenting. It has no mercy, and I like to see that kind of thing. Like you see this in Attack on Titan. Like you see like it's like unrelenting. They don't care. Oh, is your favorite It's your favorite character? Like that's what I like to see, you know. And then you know, like there's even scenes in like call me fucked up if you will, but I think this is what makes a good human experience is like bringing the horror aspects, you know, to realism. Is like, you know, you go to a daycare and the spire in Dead Space 2 and the spire's been destroyed, and you go to a daycare and you hear babies crying, and then all of a sudden you see all the babies like crawling towards you, like glowing, and you have to like shoot away from them and like get out of there. It's like it's a whole new experience, you know. Not all the games are that courageous to do something like that, or have someone's kid be locked in a room. You hear about it in the message, and then you go to that room, and it's a goddamn infected like necromorph baby, and you have to like beat its head off. It's like, geez, dude, that's kind of fucked up. But it's like that's that's what allows this universe to be itself. Is like it's a really fucked up tale. Period.
How detailed are we talking here?
in terms of the body destruction, the killing, it's going to be really super detailed, as we can see on that video. So that's the first steps of that technology, if the video is playing, which is not, I think, at the moment. Yes, here we go. You can see that it's really super precise. It's exactly where you're aiming, where you're shooting. It's exactly respecting the shape of the projectile at the enemy. If it was fire, you would see it going through the body of your enemy.
What is this, Blender?
And burning the flesh, etc. It's the peeling,
oh wow,
that body destruction
cool.
system.
That's amazing. It's kind of some stuff that we saw in like Battlefield, like destruction. Like, call me a stickler. I don't make games. Call me a stickler. Call me whatever the hell you want. But I feel like the destruction part of it is kind of, it's a little more easier to do with more technology, but at the same time, it's kind of an easy concept. You know, like there's a layer of something. When it takes X amount of points, you know, then it becomes another layer, and it works in like kind of like a, you know, like thing. And I think that's pretty interesting, you know. Beyond how it works with the whole system, I don't know any of that shit. I think the whole concept is kind of easy for them to do. So it's pretty interesting to see them do it on bodies, because we often don't see that shit. We saw it in like World at War, you know, you see some pretty graphic stuff, but like this is pretty cool. And moreover, he was mentioning like there's things that'll make the body like burn quicker, and I think he's talking about you know, good old flamethrower. Good old flamethrower. I wonder if explosive damage is you know, that's pretty cool.
In terms of pure dismemberment, and then where you're able to cut the necromorph's limbs, here where we want to improve it, because we feel like characters like the slasher, for example, it was already really deep in terms of gameplay. Like there are different behavior
Right,
based
right,
on
right.
whether you were cutting the legs or the head, where they go
It was
berserk,
already, yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
So here our goal is for enemies like Slasher, it's not
wow.
necessarily to improve or give more precision where you cut. You can cut the enemy. It's more to try to extend that fun and that depth
I see.
to other
Yeah.
enemies that tend to be a bit lighter in terms of,
Oh, I see.
of dismemberment and behavior, like for example the Infector or the Brute. Like can't wait to show you.
Oh, the Brute, yeah. Like some of those guys, like yeah, like the Brute. There were some like the bigger guys and like those guys with like those three things, like you shoot those off or you shoot them in the head, and like all that would happen is blood just comes out of their face. Or the bosses, you could shoot them like a million times with your pulse rifle, and all that just happens is blood just comes out, like kind of like a you know like a pretty generic game, especially if you're not shooting in the right spot. And even if you do shoot in the right spot, it just kind of does like a yellow splurt, kind of like some if you ever played like Planet fucking um I forget what it is, but it's, yeah. Anyway, it's like it was pretty generic, but at the same time, it was pretty cool. So I'm excited to see what they're gonna do there. And it was like the traditional thing where it's like, here's the yellow giant thing, shoot at it, and it goes, and it just like ruptures more. And then when it explodes, it just becomes like a yellow thing, and the monster goes, now shoot this yellow thing, rah! Like it was you know, it was, yeah. And then at the same time, like it would just be the same thing, same combat loop.
When you get behind the Brute and you start to peel his back and dig for weak points.
Oh, I can't wait.
That's the type of improvement we're going for.
Get to the weak points.
Yeah, I love the peeling of the different layers of skin down to the organs and bones, especially
that's
coming from
awesome.
a medical background. It's just insane to see. The level of expectation is very much up here, and you know we'll hold you accountable.
One thing that
Damn,
you
son.
might have noticed quickly in the prototype, and that's something we're going we want to experience a bit more. We want to dig a bit more. It's when you actually cut a limb, but there's still a layer of flesh. We don't necessarily always want the limb to go out and
Right.
fly away, and sometimes we keep it attached by the layer of flesh or
Oh, wow.
to the body. So currently that VFX is missing, but the technology to keep it attached and dangling is there. And so you can grab those with kinesis to make it a bit faster to dismember them, and then you can throw them back to the opponent. I think we'll speak a little bit more about kinesis after, but that's also the power and weapon synergy loop. That's also something we want to try to improve in the Dead Space remake.
Yeah. By bringing it back, like it gives you an option to. We actually took back the impalement from Dead Space 2, so it gives you an option to actually impale your enemies that's right in front of you and using it as a projectile against your enemies. So it gives you more creative opportunities to kill your enemies, really.
So that means that we're gonna continue to have cut off your limbs, and we're gonna have dangle your limbs too.
That's awesome.
The thing that people are gonna start screaming in the chat pretty soon. One of the other, you talked about,
cool.
How some of these pieces of tech are adding to the improvements of what this remake is going to wind up being. I'd love to hear you kind of talk a little bit more about, some other improvements that we've seen, not only in scale in terms of, rooms that we've seen before. We saw the headbanger room a second ago, but I want to dig into, and let's pull up the 0G therapy room, which I think also showcases this kind of next layer of where you're thinking about going from.
Oh yeah, that was another thing, is they also needed to change the 0G, because if you don't know, I'll explain it. 0G in the first one, it was like it was like you're here, you want to go over there because it's 0G, you can just fucking fly, you're a goddamn space person. You had to like aim on it. Are you sure you want to do that? Execute. It would like stick you to the fucking map. It would stick you to it, and then if you wanted to go somewhere else, you had to do the same thing. You had to like fly in this like one path. But in the second one, it was like you fly up, you can literally do all this shit, you can do all that, you can shoot, you can fucking fly backwards, fly forward, fly sideways, fly down, fly, flip like that. And if you were all fuck, I don't know which direction I could, you just press the one button, it would like zero you back in. You could use your map and it would show you where the fuck you are, and then you're like, oh, I need to go over here, and you fly over there, instead of the other one where it's just like, here you need to go there. It was so stupid. some fucking Dawn of War shit. But I'm kind of happy that they changed it because the first one it got me killed. Like I would go up to shit and like I'd just be all confused and all. Yeah.
Just talk a little bit about, where you're kind of seeing this move. We see Isaac kind of in the space right now, floating around the space. Probably going to show off some of his thrusters and stuff in a minute. I'd love to hear more about, kind of where you're thinking about in terms of improvements in this layer too.
So for us, really, going back to the original Dead Space, it was something that we felt, so again, super early build, that we felt we could actually improve in terms of experience and immersion. It's the zero-G and how you would move around in zero-G. And that's something that was really good and improving the experience in Dead Space 2 and 3 that we felt was really missing in the original Dead Space. And so that's why we took that mechanic of flying around when you're in zero-G and with much more 360-degree freedom. And now you can play Dead Space and really feel you're in space during those moments. And so also that's a mechanic that we're starting to improve a bit on. Like for example, now you can interact as you fly around. You can go into tighter corridors, those kind of things. But also it allows us to revisit some of the old content and create new ways to navigate, new paths. Like here in the original, you would have gone back through that door, through where you came from. And here, it allows us to create new environments with eventually new challenges to surprise also the people that know the game and will be like, oh, wait, what's that? What's this? And now we're going to surprise you.
So it's really
Nice.
delivering on the fantasy of being in space, making
That's
sure
awesome.
that we're able to use that and revisiting all the places in the game in the original where there was
That's exciting.
zero-G,
Let me
which
see
was the
that
super
again because I
on the
missed
fantasy of
the
being in space.
transfer of
Now
like
we're going to surprise you.
sitting down because that was always a
So
thing.
it's really delivering on the
I
fantasy
thought that
of
kind of
being in
de-immersed
space,
me a little
making
bit.
sure that we're able
Okay, it's still the same
to
though.
use that and revisiting all the places in the game in the original where there was zero-G, which was the Superman jump back in Dead Space 1, and now
Yeah,
we're
Superman
applying
jump.
full 360 motion and finding ways to provide a real challenge in those type of environment. And so far, there's been very good ideas like this one about how can we retraverse through the same environment and provide something new for the players. So we're definitely on the lookout for these opportunities when we revisit each of these gameplay sections.
Love that.
Yeah, for me in the original game, that zero-G jump was very disorienting. I don't know if anyone else agrees with this, but it made me very disoriented. So seeing quality of life improvements carried from 2 back into 1 with
Right.
thrusters and the movement is incredible. That's a huge improvement as is.
Right.
You know, it's funny. The community quickly recognized and deciphered the Morse code from the Ishimura in the original reveal that we had. People figured it out right away from the blinking, flashing lights. But you know, we didn't see any comments on the subreddit or online about the thrusters on Isaac. There was
Right?
nothing. Where was that? Look
Maybe it was
alive,
too
chat.
subtle, but
But yeah.
But no, it's really interesting because then also, like I was mentioning, it allows us to revisit to zero-G areas, potentially create new ones, and add a whole set of different challenges, that were not present in Dead Space 1, that we can now create or recreate because you have all that freedom of motion across that one big ship.
Yep. There was also one question and topic that was prevalent throughout the community that we saw time and time again, and that is the topic of microtransactions. You know, they were apparent in Dead Space 3, so
I did bring it
at this
up.
point, can you please be transparent and honest regarding microtransactions?
Like I said from the beginning, yes. Please make us have microtransactions. I would love it. I don't have really like any interest in this kind of stuff ever. But you guys have a gold, you guys literally have a gold fucking brick. Okay? Like this is amazing. All you have to do is just, expand. And so like if you guys made some like new armors, new new DLCs, like I would think that's awesome. New guns, new gun skins. I mean, personally, I don't really care about the gun skins. I don't care if my gun has like all this cool writing on it, like oh, like I don't really care too much. But in the same way, if you have like cool guns and shit, like I think that'd really be really cool.
And if that will make an appearance in Dead Space 1 Remake.
So very, very clear, no microtransaction, none at all. No,
Fine.
nada.
That's what I'm
Like
talking
you
about.
mentioned already in an interview, I think, yes, no,
No.
we don't have that in the remake.
That's awesome.
Good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good to hear. I think everybody
So
in the
this time
chat and
it's-
everybody in the
Yeah, I don't really mind.
Yeah.
very
It's on the
Yeah, I hope the
record
crowd
now.
is going
So
wild.
Because it's in the same way, like the game already has like a lot of cool stuff in it. So,
I hear, okay.
that's two back of the box quotes that we've gotten for the stream already. That's easy. Well done.
nice.
We've talked a lot about the improvements, things you kind of want to transition, ways you want to improve not only the gameplay but all the systems around it. But I think one of the things we haven't gotten a chance to talk about is how do you want to enrich the storytelling in this game as well? There's lots of different aspects to that.
wow.
I'd love to hear more thoughts about how you're trying to broaden and expand that as well.
So about the story and narrative as a broader topic
Wow.
In Dead Space. First, we are not gonna change the foundation of the story because
Nice.
that story is really iconic and it's just a great
We're all
sci-fi
nodding our
horror
head.
story. It's really about being Isaac and going into that hulking spaceship and feeling alone and isolated as you try to survive all those space zombies and stuff, and trying to find Nicole, trying to solve that mystery about the marker and stuff. All
No,
of
no,
this
no, no,
crap
don't spoil it.
that we want to enrich in terms of story or narrative, it's really about the bigger universe of Dead Space. We want to have more ties with what came after, whether it's the books, whether it's the anime, whether it's Dead Space 2. We want to put back the original in a more, in a better way, if I can say, inside that broader universe. And yes, sometimes it can be through really soul message or the audio links or message in the environment. Sometimes it will be a bit more, and we can come to that later. But also one thing we wanted to make, we wanted to build a bit more on some of the characters around Isaac, whether it's Kendra or Hammond. And one thing for me that's really important in Dead Space is, as Isaac in the story, you're looking for Nicole, but actually in game, not so much.
Yeah, there's like I said earlier, I made that joke about like fucking like I don't want to spoil it, but I mean he's kind of already getting to the point. But it's like, you're out here for hours and hours and hours, and I imagine in the game they expect it to be a few hours or something. But if you actually play the fucking game, it takes a couple of hours to even get to some parts that are like quarters of the game, like big like milestones of the game. And that being said, like it's kind of crazy that you're doing all this for a girl. And then at that point, like, it's also like, at what point do you kind of, like what is the drive? What is the drive? Female killed by aliens. Female breaking up with you, killed by aliens. So it's kind of, and it's always so weird because it's like you like, especially someone like me, like I said, people who play a lot of video games, they run through shit. They don't really take their time. So for someone to be like a goddamn fucking necromorph veteran killer, god warlord, and then just go up to their girlfriend and be like, hey honey, like it does kind of break the immersion a little bit.
We can say. So that's something we want to improve.
But that's fine. I don't really know how they can change that. That's always something I've noticed is like I literally just killed like a couple hundred fucking necromorphs, and like, come on, dude, like you're giving me flack. You're telling me what to do, bro. You got a goddamn pulse rifle, like you got a pulse rifle, and I have a plasma cutter, like an engineer's weapon, and I have more kills than you. Like, what is happening? How are you still alive?
Give you the means to actually
You know,
look
do you know what I've been like? Isaac's like, do you know what I've been through? You know the shit I've seen? Like literally like some of the other characters don't understand. Like Isaac Clarke is a fucking god if he's able to do what the things that I have done while playing him. He's just like it's like, all right, dude. Okay, Isaac Clarke, baby.
for and
All
more
right.
than look for, learn what happened
Fucking
to her during the outbreak. That's one of the elements that that we're gonna not necessarily improve in the story, but enrich and that we want to add in the lore of the game.
I'm excited for that. Again, that's one of those things where, you know, the work.
And he just walks into a room with the Ripper, just blood all over him. Just blood everywhere. Just. Oh, hey Nicole. Like, oh, hey everybody. Like, it's just like we need to get out of here. Like, it's just so silly. Like, it's like, all right, dude.
World building that you wind up doing through the ship and through those small audio logs, and you know the way you've kind of talked about.
I wish they would settle
bringing out
down
some
with
of
the
those
audio logs.
elements into kind of a next layer that we will be able to get a chance to see.
Because some of these audio logs I didn't even read. It's like, okay.
Because it's just going to be so cool to see what things when you do that one-to-one comparison. It's like, oh, that thing got changed, got added there.
Yeah, I definitely had same questions on like my first playthrough and the many other times. It's like, what about the marker? What exactly did happen? To
Stop spoiling it.
whole narrative type situation, which I'm really hoping that you guys deliver on.
I kind of got like she's been making great points except for right now because that was kind of the whole point was like Dead Space 1 was the first one was kind of the like I'm not even arguing with her. This is just true. Like Dead Space 1 was kind of the introduction to this. Like you go into this with no knowledge of what's going on, and the climax of the game is understanding the game. It's one of those games, and that's what allows like the second one to start was like the knowledge from finishing the first one. Like you can't start the first one and then just jump to the second one. Like you can just hop into the second one, but you're not going to really know what's going on, and you can't really do that without having that gradual build. Like games that just like here's the plot. Like it's hard. It's really hard to make a second one because it's like here's the plot again. It's just like, all right, dude, we understand. Save the princess. Like it's not very, unique. But here we have something completely interesting, completely new, and the storytelling of it, I think, is how it's done. So you have to go into this with like I'm talking about the first one. You have to go into Dead Space 1, like understanding that Isaac doesn't know anything. You shouldn't know anything. Nobody on your squad knows anything, and there is no one for miles that you can talk to that'll tell you what's going on. So that is what creates the element of surprise, because I had my girlfriend even reference necromorphs as not necrons necromorphs as fucking as concept art, and it's because that's how expansive, that's how fucking good they are at their shit. But she's thinking it's like a zombie. She doesn't know what the fuck it is. But that's the whole thing. Is like you have no idea what it is. Isaac doesn't know what it is. No one really knows what it is until you find out. So I think that is the necessary part of Dead Space 1 is the discovery upon completion and discovery of the story the more you play it.
This future game.
And on just to finish this off, I don't really know what they can do to complement the second one. Like how do you complement the second one? Because the story is already like here you go, like we're gonna make a second one. This is kind of how Dead Space 1 is made. It was kind of like we're gonna tell this tale, but this tale is gonna spread like a wildfire, so. And then they created it, and it did spread like a wildfire, and you got to be a part of it instead of just witnessing it after. So that was the whole point, was like there's a big contrast between the first one and the second one. And so, I kind of feel like that it's hard to really change that and make the story make more sense for the second one when it already kind of sets up the whole dealio.
You will be one of the first to know, I think.
Oh man, you know what I'm saying?
You know,
Touche.
council privileges, council privileges.
What?
Situation, which I'm really hoping that you guys deliver on this future game.
You will be one of the first to know, I think.
Yeah, the story
You know
is.
what I'm saying?
The story doesn't need to be
Touche.
touched, really.
Council privileges, council privileges. One of the
Just
other
the
and
writing.
kind of big questions that a lot of folks in the community have been wondering about, have been thinking about, and hopefully you'll be able to give us an answer on this one is, will Isaac be voiced in this game?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's a good question.
Excuse me, I have something to say.
What?
Oh, what?
What is this?
Oop.
What is this?
Excuse me, I have something to say.
What is this?
And it's
Oh,
been
this is
a
him.
long time coming.
This is him.
Hi, I'm Gunnar Wright, and I'm excited to announce that I'm reprising my role as Isaac Clarke for the remake of Dead Space 1.
Nice.
I want to thank all of you for allowing me to give Isaac a voice. I can't wait to suit up,
It's so
throw
necessary.
that rig on, and do my best to try to keep Isaac alive. Although I've got a feeling some of you might try to keep me from doing that. In the words
Content.
of Isaac Clarke, stick around. I'm full of bad ideas.
That's gonna be good.
That's what I'm talking about. That's amazing.
Gunnar
That is
will
amazing.
be coming back.
He has to. He's Isaac.
Oh my
He has
goodness.
Yeah.
He has no
Roman, what?
choice, okay?
I
He
feel
has
like
no choice.
like some of the best voice acting we got to see in this was, I hate to say this, but I feel like the third one was really good. The second one was really good, but the third one was really good because I feel like there's a lot more banter, and it just seems like, especially when you consider, like, you also have to consider, like, in Dead Space 3, he's been through Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 2, so he's seen all the shit that you could never fucking imagine. And like I said, he's a goddamn warlord god. He's just like just ripping people's fucking arms off and throwing them back at each other. Like, and then he's just like got girlfriend problems. Like, of course he's you know, gonna be like, oh, fuck you, like piss off, like, not like that, but definitely, like, you know, like, he's gonna be a fucking tough ass. He's gonna be, you know, a smart ass, and when people give him shit, he's gonna throw it right back at them. And he's kind of like, you know, like, I've fucking seen everything. Like, what the fuck are you? And I'm trying to help you motherfuckers, and you guys are fucking me over, you know? Like, Isaac's got a hard life, you know?
We made him do it. Phil Roman,
So
share
that'd be
some
good.
thoughts on Gunnar coming back as Isaac.
Well, actually, it was one of the first things that we discussed with the council at the very beginning. Like, it was one of those open questions that we had. The initial Dead Space, there was obviously no voice for Isaac. But that was changed for Dead Space 2, Dead Space 3. Gunnar played an amazing part in this.
2 was
and
great.
delivered a great performance to create that character.
Yeah.
And so
2 was good.
for us, it was really
2
a
was really
question,
good.
like, oh, should we voice him for this remake or not? Should we stay? Which is why, like, we engage in that conversation with all the folks on the council to try to see what, from your perspective, what was your opinion on this key topic? And what was clear was that, well, if he's back, it has to be Isaac. It has to be Gunnar. Isaac is Gunnar.
Good, thank God.
And
Some
so
companies be hiring other
we
people.
started to have the
Call of Duty, Cold War. Why'd you get rid of Woods? Best voice actor you guys had in your whole industry. Oh God. Better than Nolan North. Oh man, I don't know what. Something wrong with me. I don't know why they fired the guy from Woods.
discussions with casting, and it became very, very clear rapidly that for us, that was the right angle to tackle this topic.
Yes, for me, it's, so first, as a fan of Dead Space, before even
Yeah.
being on that project, it was, yeah, Gunnar is Isaac. And revisiting Dead Space 1, amazing game, and revisiting Isaac, for me, we needed Isaac to be in Dead Space 1. And so that's why, for me, it was really important, and I was so happy to be able to have him be Isaac in Dead Space 1. But one thing that is really important for us, there is something that is key in the Dead Space theme and ambience. It's the isolation. You're alone. You're alone on that spaceship. You're alone facing those enemies. it's really that feeling of being isolated and alone. And sometimes hearing a voice, it fights against that. Like, you know, you're going to the basement.
I was thinking this, but I didn't say it. Was like, the truth was, all right, so I'll say this, and I'll say this very slowly, and I won't freak out about this. In Dead Space 2, there were moments where Isaac Clarke would die or he would get hit, and his voice would just be like, oh, 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 you know, like, and then, you know, like, it was just really weird, kind of strange, kind of brought you out of it. And then there was things like, you know, like, there's things like, the, what's it called? Yeah, like, he would have, like, death lines, voice lines, things like that, and they kind of kill the scene. Or like when, you know, when you get scared, he goes like, oh, like, still, and it was kind of strange. There's some stuff like that they
It's
could
dark
change.
and you're looking for the light, and you talk to yourself because it's reassuring, especially when you're alone in the dark. And so that's something we didn't want it to break in Dead Space. And so Isaac is only going to talk. One of the rules that we have is that Isaac is only going to talk when he's being talked to. He is going to respond. He's going to engage with Eamon. He's going to engage with Kendra and so on. He's going to be part of those discussions.
Interesting.
Then,
Good.
when he's alone, when you're alone in that dark corridor, he's not going to talk. He's not going to break that immersion. He's not going to break that feeling of isolation.
There were some, yeah, and I guess that's true, because I wanted to also mention, like, when he's like stomping on the ground, he'd be like, motherfucker, like, on the second one, he would be like, piece of shit, like, he would say things, and like, if you were trying to open a box, like, you know, and you missed the first time, you say the second time, like, he does, like, noises and stuff, and when he smacks it, he goes, ah, like, he goes like, oh, like, you know, makes noises and shit, and it did bring me out of the immersion, because it like reminded me that, like, this is a person, and you know, they're not really afraid, so why should I be afraid? But like, at the same time, when he was silent, it definitely was more focused on being deplorable as this person, being definitely deplorable.
But one thing that was important for us, for Isaac as a character, is he's not a space marine. He's a really specific type of character. Not only is Isaac, but also he's an engineer. And so we really wanted to give him more a sense of being the main character of that story, giving more sense of agency on what's going on. And so,
I see.
When there's a new objective, when there's a discussion about how are we going to blow that barricade, how are we going to restart the engine of the ship, we wanted Isaac to be part of that discussion. We wanted Isaac to be part of the solution. He's the expert.
He's the
space engineer. And so that's why also we wanted to give him a voice. We wanted to improve the character on that perspective.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't know why. I was thinking, like, wait, he does talk. But no, in the first one, he doesn't talk. So everyone else has these fucking big, bright ideas, and he's a goddamn engineer. Sure, I'll unplug this. Oh, you want... Oh, is this the wrong conductor? Okay, I'll go do that one. Oh, you want me to go through the 0G and undo that? Okay, I'll take care of it. Like, he doesn't even say anything. Like, but it's like, you're the person who would know all this shit. This should be your idea. You should be like, listen, motherfuckers, we need to turn off the fucking power. We need to restart the engine. We need to fucking go to the nav room, send a fucking beacon for help, and get the fuck out of here in the fucking space thing that I know is here, because here are the schematics. Like, that's how it should have fucking been, you know? But no one asked Isaac for anything.
Couldn't be happier about that.
We couldn't either.
Jackie, what any more thoughts about Gunnar being back in the game?
No, I'm very excited.
I'll probably be wrapping it up after this.
The council very much told you guys that is exactly what we wanted, and I'm really glad that followed through. Everything came through.
But like I said in the beginning, like, I would love to see some expansions like they did with Dead Space Severed, like they did with the multiplayer. They kind of expanded the universe without really needing to expand it. So I think that's something else that I really want to see.
Very excited.
Yeah, I am hyped. Even though I did not get the part, it's okay, Gunnar. We will let you rock as Isaac this time around. You know, Dead Space 2 remake. I will be Isaac at some point.
You're a close second, Khalif. Close second.
See, this is why I love you. I appreciate. See, this is again another back of the box.
Honest.
Again, this is the reason why we do this kind of work. We're almost out of time, but I want to
Honestly, I don't know if I said this in the beginning, but this is how I feel. I don't really know if they can fuck this up. They don't even need to make a second one.
gents a little bit of time just to share again any last thoughts you have with the folks here watching the chat and everybody else out in the land who are Dead Space fans right now.
Yeah, well, one thing, like I said at the beginning, the purpose for us to do this is to hear your feedback, hear your thoughts. So hopefully we've shown a few assets, we've talked about the game. Hopefully that triggers some discussion that we're able to look and see and understand what's important for the community. So that's really the purpose for us, and we hope that the community is going to engage so that we can get that feedback back.
And another important element really for us is that we've started a little bit less than a year now on that project, and we start to have some amazing things, I think, and its production is just starting. And I'm incredibly amazed and proud of everything the team is doing. Like,
wow, that looks good.
It's one of the most amazing teams I've worked with, and I want to thank them again and again for everything they're doing. And not only because I do believe it's amazing, but also because it's really difficult time for building all of those things in that context of the podium.
Actually, yeah, now considering, I mean, we're kind of in this weird stage now. Like, we were in the stage of, like, you know, the pandemic happening, and then we kind of moved forward to, like, you know, to, like, kind of more like, let's build it while we fucking work on, while it's released. And hopefully we're coming to see a new age of gaming. Like, I've seen a lot of stuff coming out towards 2022 that they're focused on, where hopefully these people can come back together and work on projects. And, you know, now everyone's so stressed out and dealing with all these problems, you know. So hopefully we can see some of that.
And working from all
and
all
you know, some really good gaming.
All those assets, all those arts, the gameplay they are building in that context, I'm just like, wow, I'm blown away. Like,
the team's amazing.
Thank you very much, guys.
That was a really beautiful concept art you had on the screen there. It was medical. It was stunning. I can't wait for everyone to see that in the actual game shipped.
Yes.
This is so pretty. I want this as a desktop background.
Right?
That's cool.
Seriously,
yeah, I usually have
live
cool
there, but I want
backgrounds.
That as a piece of my desktop art.
I had a Dead Space background for a long time.
We can hook you up, Jackie. We can hook you up.
Nice. Jackie, before we get up out of here, any
Screenshot.
last words for the folks at home?
No, you know, I had a wonderful time, and I want to thank Motive and EA, you know, for allowing Khalif and I to be a part of this wonderful community. Thank you, Roman and Phil, and, you know, also thank you all the unsung heroes, you know, on the dev team working hard to make this ship for the best possible thing, you know.
Yeah,
so thank you so much.
Yeah, and I'll just end out and say again, you know, Phil and Roman and the rest of the team, you all are putting in such great work.
Seriously,
to bring this game back to life in a fantastic way. I, as a huge fan, am extremely excited to dangle their limbs and do all of those things within that game.
Yeah.
And we hope that also our friends and our compadres over in the council as well. We hope we did you proud today.
Javelin gun.
Everybody at home who's watching the stream, make sure you go check out Dead Space Twitter account so you can get some more updates when they go live. And again, thank you so much for being here today. Take care, and we'll see you.
Cool.
Thanks a lot, everyone.
Thank you very much. Bye.
And that was fucking it. That was awesome. I am so happy I watched that. That is exactly what I wanted to see. And moreover, I feel like it's just gonna keep getting better and better. So that's great. Hell yeah. Well, if you enjoyed this, thank you for watching. I honestly, I don't have a lot of good news, but that was some good news because that's like a childhood game of mine. I love seeing people like remake shit like that. So yeah, if you want to come by next time, I think I'm gonna be just chilling or something. That was pretty sick. So thanks for coming by. Have a good night.